Andy,
Hello, mate.
how you doing?
Yeah, good. Long time no see.
Not bad, not bad. Curious Goose, you want to join us, mate? Feel free, feel free.
Ah,
Bit of pre-birthday drinks. I want to get drunk.
yeah. Oh, fuck.
I'm in training for tomorrow night because, yeah, tomorrow night's the big family meal and, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Been drinking all sorts tonight, all different flavoured. What am I on at the minute? Brew Dog Hazy Jane. Just finished the Hobgoblin.
Crazy wife, good evening. Now, is that Crazy's wife or is that Crazy's dad? Oh, no. Get confused. Howie, how are you doing, Howie?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Thank you for joining us.
That's all right. I
For
can only
my
give you about 10 minutes or so because I'm going to shoot off and get horizontal and push out some Z's in a minute.
Oh man, it's my birthday. How dare you?
Well, I've got to be
Oh,
fresh. I've got to get it fresh and everything. Got to get my routine. I'm getting old now. How old will you be tomorrow then? Is it tomorrow your birthday or what?
It is tomorrow's my birthday. I was born in 1969, so that makes me about 53. So,
Oh, young'un.
okay,
Oh.
no worries. Oh, hello. Who's this? Hatton Page, V and oh god.
Finrint, what's that about?
I'll tell you, the last time I tried to block somebody, it didn't go well, and I ended up blocking MT Belly, and I couldn't unblock him. But I did in the end.
Did you find out how to unblock him in the end?
I did in the end. I did eventually figure it out, and I got him unblocked, and yeah, he's fine now. He can view everything. It's because his name came up right underneath the person I was going to click on, and I clicked on it, click block, and he was gone. And I was like, right, I've done that. And then someone said, you've blocked MT Belly, and I'm like, oh dear, how do I undo that? And Crazy's wife did try to tell me, and I followed her instructions to the letter, and it didn't work. And I eventually did it myself. Alison, hey guy, how you doing? Alison Langley. We're all well. Are you all well, guys?
I am fine. Thank you very much.
There you go. Nice to have you along. Alison, if you want to jump on, feel free.
I just wondered where you were going tomorrow then, Si. What are your plans? You say you're going out with the family. I mean, what?
Yeah, we're just doing. There's a very local restaurant to me called the Rose of India, which I've been going to for the last 15, 16 years. That does excellent food, and I got asked where I want to go for dinner tomorrow, and I said there. So the family are all taking me down there. I do happen to know they have a very good martini brandy behind the counter because I've had it before. And yeah, we shall be having a little drink in there. MT, how you doing? I'd like to see MT come and join us if you can, MT. Please feel free.
So yeah, I might grab Steve and get out to Eclipse Sunday. It will depend what Steve's up to and whether I can be asked to do the boring bit of the ride. But
I'll take from there. I could probably go out Mersey Way and I could make it a 30-40 minute ride and it'd be interesting, but it's, yeah, it is what it is. It's straight up the A5 and you're there, isn't it? So,
well, it is. I mean, obviously I've got the Leighton Buzzard bit down in Leighton Buzzard. That's all right.
Yeah.
It all depends really how I feel Sunday morning.
Yeah, MT, you're not blocked. No, you're not. I did figure it out in the end, so yeah, you are back with us.
Yeah. So
there we go. Happy birthday to me. So Tracy's gone down to the O2 tonight to watch UB40.
Is she 100% now? Is she then?
I'll tell you what. She had a clear test Saturday last week. She still felt rough. She had a clear test on Sunday, so she was like, "Oh, good, I can get out. I can get out my prison cell now because we had her locked in the spare room." And she came down Sunday, and I said, "How you feeling?" She said, "Actually, I'm feeling really good." And it was like Monday. She was like completely rejuvenated. It's sort of like, where the fucking hell is this? She was like 10 years younger, and
Yeah.
she still gets
Agree.
a bit breathless and that going up and down stairs. But yeah, she feels 110%. So
That goes. Did she lose her taste and smell?
no, she's lost none of that.
No, see, we
So I
did.
think she probably had the Omnicron rather than the other one.
It's a bloke at work. He ain't had his taste back now for nearly 2 months.
The O2's back. They are doing functions and everything else, but a lot of the side stalls and shows and restaurants and all that are closed. But yeah, they did lose the roof on it. So
That's what happens when you set up a venue in a tent.
well, yeah, basically the O2 is a tent, isn't it? Let's face it, that's what it
It was
is.
the most expensive tent, wasn't it? Gosh.
Oh, fuck me, was that one
Imagine
hell of an
that bloody
expensive
place
tent?
cost.
Hang on. I'd just like to introduce this fella. He's just popped in. Welcome, Mr. Red Bomb, son. Lockwood, how we doing?
Awkward.
I'm not bad, guys. How are you?
Yeah,
I'm
good.
good.
Oh, you know what? I came up here all set up to come in on Rev Bomb stream, and it was like 1 minute ago. You guys just shut off as soon as I came up.
Wow. That is unlucky. That is really unlucky.
It's not unlucky because I'm on this one.
Well, you're
That's the
here
better
with me.
one, isn't it?
And it's my pre-birthday drinks, so you got to have a
Oh,
drink.
it's your pre-birthday drinks. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this for you, mate, because it's. I think.
Oh,
Oh,
can I blow it out?
We'll need to do a happy birthday first.
Oh, okay, sure.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
Happy birthday
to you.
to you.
Happy birthday, dear. What are we
Simon.
going to call him? We call him Simon.
Simon.
Yeah, why not?
Happy birthday
Happy
Who's in the
birthday
name?
to you. Hip hip. When you go,
Hey.
blow, blow.
Yay!
Okay, now
Leave
you
that
took
later.
the cover off.
Lockwood, thank you.
Well done, mate. You're born the same year as me, so that's a good thing.
I'm never born the same year as you. You're 10 years younger, obviously.
No, mate. I'm the same year as you. I'm 6th of July, 1969.
Yeah.
That was when the man
The
landed
youngest
on the
on
moon.
Yay.
What's that?
I'm the youngest on here. Yay.
You
Wow.
probably are, yeah. Hey, leave it at Howie's only 22.
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
true.
I'm the oldest, mate. I'll tell you. 62 this year.
Wow.
Wow.
You're not 62.
Yeah.
Really?
Because
I'll tell you, you're doing well for a 62, man. You're looking
mate.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're looking good. You must moisturize.
I do. I have all the man products.
Yeah.
I mean, the bathroom
you,
shelf
Crazy.
is like the wife's bathroom shelf. It really is.
Yeah. Cool. Good.
Ooh, Rider. Great to see Lockwood. There you go.
You know you're getting
You
old
doing
with
good,
You've
Rider?
got quite a following, Lockwood. They all love you in here.
Yeah, it's getting there. Just a pity I couldn't get on earlier.
Yeah. You missed
Yes.
Daddy Rev Bomb.
I did. I heard the whole thing about the ZX. What was it? Was it a ZX with a sidecar?
No.
Was it something about a Kawasaki with a sidecar or something? But I heard that earlier when I was on earlier.
We're talking about Urals with sidecars and
Is that what it was?
know,
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. See, I'm getting
And
old. I
three-wheel
don't
bikes
really
with
know.
two wheels at the front. We was talking about them, and then, yeah.
Oh, Nikons. The Nikons, wasn't it? Is that the one you were thinking of?
Nikon. That's it, yeah.
Yeah. Mad.
It's like I say, you got 14 people watching and only one like, and that's from me. Hit that like button.
Is that what we got in here tonight already? 14 people watching, only one like.
That's
Come on.
mad.
No,
You
they
can
don't
do
want
better
they don't
than
like
that.
it, mate. That's what it is.
Well, you can not like me. I don't care. Just like the video. Like the other three guys, you know.
Hang on, I'll go on and I'll like. All right, hang on. There you go.
Right, I'm just going to grab myself a beer. Hang on.
I've disliked it. No, I've
I
liked
like
it.
the music.
You liked it?
Like-
I keep forgetting there's stuff over that side, and I'm always looking at this side. I'm just shit at multitasking. That's what it is.
Where's he gone?
She has to
Cheers,
screen,
brother.
innit?
So what's been happening? What's been the chat? Anything nice?
Really?
Usual.
Yeah.
We had any talk about how shit the Russians are and what's going on in Ukraine? No.
I did say on my last video, I put my views out there. I don't know for 1 minute why NATO and the countries that are in NATO, you know, the biggest superpowers on the planet, are putting up with that little Hitler. I mean, the protests in Russia, his own people don't want it. The Ukrainians don't want it. We don't want it. Yet all we're going to do is take a bit of money away from them, put stupid sanctions on.
I think
But yeah,
they're a
the
bit
Russians been
scared
kicked
they've
out
got
of Eurovision, haven't they?
That's the
that's
UEFA
a travesty.
this,
Not
that, and the
taking
other.
that, isn't it?
Football teams taking them off their shirt. Seriously?
The thing is, I mean, they're obviously scared that he's going to nuke us. But he's not going to nuke us, because if he nukes us, we're just going to nuke him. So I just don't get the whole thing about it's threats at the end of the day.
I think he expected to walk in that country without hardly any resistance.
Yeah,
And
yeah, which shows how
now
far away he is from reality.
yeah, exactly, 100%.
Yep. And I think the fact that we're just sitting there on the borders, just waiting on him, knocking a tree down, you know, in a NATO country or something for us to react to it, is us just sitting there waiting on him making the next step. And to be honest, he's not expecting us to do it.
This shouldn't happen in this day and age.
No.
Full
No.
stop.
No.
He's a bully.
Yeah.
Well, he's just pushing it as far as he can just to see what the reaction is to test. I mean, you know, he's I think there's something unhinged with him, and I think that the West isn't taking any notice of him, and he wants to make his disdain known. So
Did
he's
you
got
see
his
his interview on TV earlier? He was blaming America.
this is the
Yeah.
blame game now. It's all-
And going on
Oh, no.
about druggies and
Serious?
Nazis, you know, that are ruling Ukraine. Come on,
Mm.
fuck, really?
He's just delirious.
Yeah, totally. Aye. And everyone around him is the same, or he's got them just basically being puppets to him.
Mm.
But yeah.
His own people to overthrow him.
I think the Ukrainians will give up a good fight, but it's a shame that it's going to get to that stage where there's going to be that much bloodshed
I
before.
mean, they were giving civilians guns, weren't they?
Yeah.
You see earlier on that
80,000
tank
machine
hit the
guns.
car? You see earlier
Yeah.
on the news, that tank ran
That
over
was
the car,
horrendous, wasn't it?
and the bloke that was still alive in it. Oh
Yeah,
my god! You know,
Yeah.
What was that about? Madness.
I know.
Yeah.
It was just an old guy that was going about his business, and they thought, let's just run over this because they can, you know. And it's scary because that ran over that car that was moving like it was nothing.
Oh yeah. Well, it's good, isn't it? 20
Mental.
tons of arms going to go straight over a 2-ton
Yeah.
car. No
well,
bother.
it's amazing that he was
Yeah.
still alive. You know that. you
Yeah.
know, I mean, Simon's seen stuff like that in the past as well. I mean, yeah, that guy, he was still moving, he was still conscious and everything.
Yeah.
And that,
It must have been a Volvo or something.
yeah, probably Skoda.
Oh,
Wasn't a Skoda, was it?
It weren't a Skoda,
Lada.
no. A Lada, it would end up about as thick as a fucking fag packet, wouldn't it?
That'd have been a cheese wafer. That would have been by the end of that.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Man.
Alison's just brought up a point. There you go. Is China going to back him? Yes, they are. I'll tell you they are, because they're communists as well. So.
Yeah. No, I think they will. But then I was thinking about this earlier. I don't know if, because I think Russia are going to be isolated.
I'm not buying any more of their food.
What, Chinese?
Yeah.
I've opted for an Indian tomorrow, so.
What's Rev going to do about his likes motors then? Have to start selling, I don't know, BMWs or something.
Real one.
He'll have to, won't he? Oh, God, dear.
Oh dear. got to start these about 4 o'clock so I can stay awake to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you finished all your babysitting duties then, Lockwood?
Yes. Yeah, they were kind of acting up a wee bit tonight. The wife, she'll probably be on the last train home from Glasgow tonight, so no doubt I'm going to get a phone call telling me that she's on her way back, and then she'll be walking home. So yeah. So I might have to jump ship when it comes
Yeah,
to
no
it.
worries, man. You got to look after the missus, haven't you?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I shot down a Russian plane earlier, so there it is.
Apparently, it's not only one they've shut down. Oh, I see. There you go. It landed on your cushion behind you. Yeah.
It did.
Is that flying through your window?
Yes.
It's a good shot. Good shot. Soft landing.
I'll tell you what, the
Yeah.
worrying thing is off the coast of Scotland, the east coast of Scotland, the English or the Royal Navy and the Russian Navy quite often have a lot of little games around that area, and I should imagine that's a height of interest for satellites and things this evening. I
Well,
should
you know
imagine.
that was the thing. See when Putin had said about if we intervene in any way that the world will see a water or whatever that
Like
nobody's
history
ever
won't-
seen
Like
before.
it's never
Yeah,
seen before.
like
Yeah,
they've never
Yeah.
seen before. And then you think along the lines of all these subs that kick about, and there's always interventions with Russian subs.
Mhm.
Because on the west coast you've got Faslane and you've got the whole Clyde Valley that kind of runs along there, and it's a really deep area, and that's where the subs, the nuclear subs are is there. So there's always stuff going on there. And if you ever watched that BBC drama Vigil, where that was that whole Russian thing that was going on with the subs. Yeah, you do worry about it, whether they are close. And if it came to the fact that it did go nuclear, there's a sub sitting in Arran somewhere that's just ready to kind of nuke us,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, they have.
I think we've been sleeping for a while, to be fair.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while. They've been doing that for years, actually. They always test each other.
Yeah.
Whenever they get a new bit of technology on a ship, on a sub, on a plane, they always probe their neighbours to see when it was noticed. They've done that for years.
Yep.
And the Americans, when they built the stealth bomber, this plane that was could not be found, and this is actually a true story. It was on the way to the UK for an air show, and the English said to the Americans, "Could you let us know when it's on its way over so we can escort it in?" So the Americans said, "Yeah, we'll let you know when it's on its way." Well, the Americans decided not to let us know. And the Americans were surprised when these two Harrier jets intercepted their stealth bomber and said, "Hello, welcome to UK airspace. We'll escort you in." And the pilot said something along the lines of, "How did you know we were here?" And the UK pilot said, "We saw you." So there's a bit of stealth technology there that wasn't quite as stealth as the Americans thought it was. And to this day, as far as I'm aware, the UK have never told the Americans on how we saw that coming across the Atlantic. So yeah, it's, they all play games with each other, and they've all got their own little bits and pieces they work along each other, and they're doing it all the time, all year, every year.
Yeah, and it's all the propaganda as well, isn't it? It's total propaganda, the stuff that goes on. Seemingly, Russia are now blocking stuff from outside of Russia, like any of the social media stuff that's coming in to Russia is now getting blocked.
What their public see.
Yeah. It's what's actually happening. It's
all these sanctions
mental.
are going to affect the Russian people before they ever get anywhere near these idiots that are running the country.
Yeah.
Their days are done. They know it.
The first day that the Russians started action on the Ukraine area, That morning at 8 a.m. in the morning, the Ukraine army are quoted as saying we've shot down 5 planes and 1 helicopter. Well, and that was within the first 10 hours of conflict. Well, the first 10 hours of conflict, you don't send your planes in because you're busy missiling everything to get all your anti-air defenses out of the way before you send the planes in. So there's a bit of propaganda from the Ukrainians as well as there is from the Russians coming in, and I'm not sure what I believe. But
Russia's not telling the truth, and Ukraine's probably twisting it. It's hard to find out what's true and what ain't.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. At the end of the day, innocent people are dying. And they're going, "Oh, what are you going to do? Hang on, I live here." It's like trying to evacuate London or Glasgow. Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
You're not going to leave your home.
No.
And that's why I think the Russians fought, and that's what Putin was saying. He wants people he was telling the Ukrainian army to lay down your arms and go home. He wants them to roll over.
Yeah.
But they're not going to roll over.
Yeah. He's deluded.
They're not going to roll over.
Yeah.
Totally. And the only reason Ukraine isn't in NATO is because all the NATO nations didn't want to upset Russia by accepting Ukraine into NATO.
Correct.
It's politics.
Yeah.
And it's all fucking rubbish.
And it's a shame. So it's a total shame. I think the thing that gets me is the fact that a lot of the Ukrainians speak English, and and they are like us. I think it's, even though obviously the majority of the world are like us, but they speak different language. But when you've got somebody that speaks the same language as you, and you can see their reactions and their, the way they are, they're just like us, and they're being bombed by just a dictator, and it's scary.
How many people have looked at this and seen the likes of, in history, Adolf Hitler? He kind
of lied that he wasn't going to invade Poland, didn't he?
Yeah, he said, "No, I'm not going to invade Poland. I'm not going to invade Poland." Then he marched straight fucking across it.
Yeah. The same when he marched into Washington.
And he did everything he could not to get any other nation involved until he decided, right, actually, I'm fucking having you and all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into Belarus and places like
that. He's going to go into Belarus. He is. Yeah. It's a partially Russian separatist nation anyway,
Russia, isn't it? Yeah. So it is. I mean, and they've been helping them in some form, and then the sanctions going to be against Belarus as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's saying it's a peacekeeping mission, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's liberating. Is the word they use, isn't it? Liberating.
Yeah. He's liberating the people of Ukraine. Yeah.
Anyway, lads, I'm going to call it a night and hit the sack. So,
cheers, Howie.
I did say 10 minutes, but I've gone over.
That was about 20, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right. Anyway, you take care. Stay safe.
Good man, Howie.
Cheers, buddy.
All the best, man.
You too. Cheers, all right. How do we get out of here? There
you go.
God
just
bless
like
him.
that. So what's happening to you, Andy? Are you working in the morning, or are you?
No, I get 3 weekends off out of 14 weeks, and I've got this weekend off and next weekend off.
Right.
So I'm enjoying it. And then I've got a bit of time off in March anyway, holiday wise. But normally I work most weekends. It's nice to get the odd one off.
So you get any plans then? If you've got the weekend off, you doing anything?
Not really. The missus is at work tomorrow. I want to get out and do some bits. Probably head into town, pick up some stuff, but nothing much really. Just going to chill.
What's the weather been like? You kind of been able to get out and stuff?
I got out today. Managed to get out the login today.
I've not seen it yet.
Yeah, but this is the first time I've been out really since just before we went to the show. So first time I've been out in a couple of weeks.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's sort of like when I've been off, the weather's been horrendous, and I'm like, you know what, I ain't going out just for the sake of it. If I've got somewhere to go and something to do on the bike, then I'd use it. But just for the sake of going out for a ride and thinking, I'm going to get it covered in shit and get wet and get blown about, I just thought it's just not worth it. So one storm after another. I haven't seen many bikes on the road, to be fair, unless you're
it's been the same up here. It's just been constant, one thing after another. And then like yesterday, was it yesterday morning? We woke up and we were just blanket of snow everywhere. And then come 2 o'clock, it was gone.
Over. Yeah, I've seen it moving over.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. That's the worst we've had in a long time, to be fair.
Is that
I don't know the
all
last
now?
time. I don't know the last time I got the kind of house brush out and kind of brushed the snow off the car. It's been a while.
Is that cleared away now? Is it? Do you have rain
Yeah. Well, we woke up. I got up at 7 in the morning and it was white and the snow was still coming down. And then it kind of stopped about 8ish. And then come 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it was gone. Because I would say over the last 10 years, we've not really had a lot of snow that lies where we are anyway on the kind of west coast. We'll maybe get a blanket of snow, but then later on we'll get rain and it will just melt it away. It's gone. So yeah, about 12, 1 o'clock it was gone. So yeah, that was it. So no snowman, unfortunately.
Not even a snow angel. Look at that.
The thing is,
not even a snow angel. No, nothing.
I don't know. You'll have to go and watch the VFR, wouldn't you, if you take it out, because they'd have gritted.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've still not fixed that speedo. I need to get that fixed.
What do you reckon it is? A connection on the cable?
Well, see, I had to replace the what is it you call it? It's the clutch slave, I think it was. It was still away on the clutch slave before I even got it on the road, because I noticed that it was leaking stuff, and I replaced that. But to do that, you have to take the kind of cover off with the speedo to get to the slave, and I noticed that it was a bit dodgy, so I kind of played about with that part of it, and I don't know whether it sits in a sleeve and it kind of moves up and down, so I don't know whether I've just maybe moved it the wrong way and it's just gradually fell out. It's either that or it's the wee nylon thing that kind of sits in. What's that?
Excuse Exeter while he stirs his coffee.
Yeah.
So
It's actually Horlicks.
It may
It's
have been
really boring.
Horlicks.
In a bunny rabbit thing as well. It's not my cup, all right?
Horlicks and a bunny rabbit. So yeah, I don't know what it is. It could be something to do with the actual, cable itself. But I'll just need to look at it. I think it'll be an easy fix though.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple system, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a total.
It's just that,
It's the twisty
you know,
bit at the
it's
bottom,
like
the twisty bit at the top,
or-
with the cable running between the two, isn't it?
Yeah. I even thought about maybe sticking a wee drill on it and put it in reverse and see if the dials would go back the way.
Maybe take off a few miles.
Yeah.
Like
I've
your
got this
14s.
CFR that's 25 years old and it's only done 1,000 miles.
That's it. Well, it'll almost be like that because it's done 98,500 and something. So it's
Has it?
hopefully I'll get it round the clock. Maybe not this year. But
Wow.
I'll try. Yeah.
That's good going. Honda
That-
Engineering, that is.
Oh, hats off to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Wow.
Even working on it, you can tell from having a few bikes over the years.
Reason
It's
it won.
just all the bits that hold it together. You can see how they're held together, but they're held together. I don't know. It's just good 90s.
It's big chunky engineering
Yeah,
is how they
yeah.
made them back then, rather than
yeah.
trying to save a few quid and having the alloys and different metals that are softer, proper steel chunked together,
Yes.
isn't it?
And even the fastenings that kind of hold on the fairings, the way they just go in and click, they're not screwed in. You just push them in and turn it a wee half turn that clicks it on. Definitely over engineered, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question for you, actually, Lockwood, on your VFR. Has it got the linked braking?
No.
Right. Because that was the Gen 2, wasn't it?
That was the one I've got is the Gen 3, so I think it was Gen 5 onwards
it?
because you had the 750 Gen 3, which is the one I've got. The Gen 4 was just slightly upgraded suspension and slightly different fairings. but it was still a 750. And then they brought out the first 800, which was I think that was the first fuel injected model.
That's the one I nearly bought. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one that had the link brakes. Yeah, but I quite liked it. I mean, I've had a few of the kind of newer ones, and I quite liked the link brakes.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
But whereas I've heard lots of folk that have tried to de-link them, but seemingly if you're going to stick it on a track day, you should de-link them. But I quite liked them linked.
For road riding, it's okay, isn't it? But I think there comes a time where you want to moderate the front a bit more in emergency situations. Sometimes you want to anchor on, but just let the front slide, don't you, and let the rear do whatever it wants to do. But I've had it with linked brakes before, where you anchor on, and you want to the front wheel starts to skid, and once that starts happening, you want to let it go, but you just can't. Sinus Terrain 125.
Right.
That's what happened to me on that off-road as well. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm going with the VFR. I think you probably need to ride it really hard for that to happen. But I find that if you are, I think I was quite used to using the rear brake a lot. And even with bikes that weren't linked, I would tend to use the rear brake a lot, and then I would notice that the back would lock quite a lot. Whereas I'm not really used to that happening on the VFR, because I was used to just using the rear brake and used to it kind of doing what it did. But yeah,
because Curious Goose has just come in saying I hate linked brakes because he's got linked brakes on his, and it's that's the same bike which I test rode with him, and it's a nightmare. But the thing is that's a cheaper range of bike, isn't it? Hondas do tend to get things right. They're going to link brakes and they gauge it right.
I've got link brakes on the BMW. The rear is independent, so if I hit the rear, the front don't come on. But if I hit the front, I do get a certain percentage hit the rear.
Oh yeah.
But I don't have a problem with it. I think the brakes are fantastic.
Yeah.
Whether that's because of the electronics, it's like on the GS now. If you hit your brakes in an emergency situation, you can grab the front brake sometimes, but you keep the throttle on. In an emergency situation, when the bike senses you've done that, it cuts the throttle out for you.
Oh yeah.
So if you've got full acceleration on and you slam on their front brakes, even if you try and keep full acceleration on, the bike takes all that away. So but I don't know whether it's just the way that the modern bikes handle it now compared to the older link braking, or like you say on the cheaper bikes where
on the budget ones,
experience. Whether it makes a difference. I know on the BMW, I've never had a problem with the brakes. They do exactly what I want. It doesn't take any feel away. I can drag the back brake around the corner. If I hit the front brakes, you don't get a lot of brake dive on them anyway, maybe half an inch or an inch because of the telelever, but it acts how you expect it to act. It doesn't interfere with it.
I think that's the thing with the telelever. I suppose you know that you can just fully pull that lever and know that it's not going to dive and sit you upright.
Someone that rides a lot with the pillion, that telelever is one of the best things I've ever come across on a bike. If you're going downhill and you've got a pillion on, you hit that front brake, that pillion just wants to climb all over your back. I don't get that on the BMW.
I'm totally with you there, Andy. Yeah, same as mine, mate. I've got telelever on mine, and it's fantastic, isn't it? For that reason.
It's really weird because you can come into a corner, throw them brakes on as hard as you want, and the bike doesn't come unbalanced. It stays sitting up where you want it as soon as you release the brake. But the best thing for me is literally going, down hills and stuff like that with the wife on the back. You touch that brake, she's not coming over you. She's not trying to lean into you. She's more comfortable. I'm more comfortable. Yeah, no, brilliant design.
Yeah.
But you can only have it because of the Boxer engine. If it weren't for the Boxer engine, there wouldn't be room there for it.
Yeah, and I can see Simon's argument as well, and certainly with the GS, that it doesn't give you much front end feel, does it? Because you've got the wide bars with a big wheel, and you've got the power lever suspension. So I can see where he's coming from when it comes to the road riding, that you don't get feel. I mean, I'm fine with it. I still like it. I still really like it, but
I don't find a problem with it.
Don't get me wrong. I love riding Andy's bike. I love riding it because I got it really dirty. But no, apart from that, I love riding it. It was a really nice bike to ride, but it was just that feel. I like to feel. I mean, I'm a tarmac guy. Am I ever going to go off road? No. I'm not.
I think as well that the thing is when you test rode it, it was only in rain mode, so everything was dialed down from the power to
Yeah.
the suspension to the brakes. Everything was heightened, the ABS, everything. I put that thing in dynamic. I mean, you've had a Versys, Simon, as well. I thought the Versys was very, very weird at the front. It was the front never seemed right when planted into a corner. It was very light. There weren't a lot of feel from it. I get way more feel out of the BMW than I ever did out of that. I can't compare it with anything else because I've not ridden the GTR.
Unfortunately, I've ridden the GTR for the last. I've ridden the GTR for the last 3.5 years or 3 years, and it does a lot for me mechanically, where it talks to me about what's going on at the front end to the point where I can tell whether my front tire is 3 pounds under pressure or whether it's at the right pressure. I can feel that while I'm riding. And I've got so used to getting all of that feedback through the handlebars without getting a lot of interference from engine vibrations and everything else, because the GTR just does that for me. When I got on yours, there's a lot of, I'm going to say, electrical interference between me and what's going on the road. That's what it felt like, because I know
it numbs it out a lot.
I know the road should have been, because from what I'm seeing, the road should have been a lot rougher than what I was feeling. But I'm not getting that feeling, and that's
purely down to setting.
Yeah,
that's purely down. If you're in road or rain, the suspension and the rebound is set really soft. I mean, really, so it's like sitting on a magic carpet.
I mean, I
would argue
it up in Gel mode for me, didn't I?
I would argue that sometimes it can be over refined. Would you say that, Andy, or no?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can go over some really rough ground, ground that should shake your teeth out. And the bike soaks it up, and you just don't know you're going over it. But if you do switch that bike into dynamic, it does completely change it. You will feel every single bump, and you will get every single bit of feedback that you want from it.
I know it was an awful day. I took it out, Andy, and it was a wet, sloppy road, and it was a wet, sloppy day. And I said, I just want to be able to ride it and tell you what I think of it. And you set it up in the modes for me, so yeah.
It was like the roads were greasy. They were full of shit. Obviously, you were hacking down lanes anyway. So rain was the best mode for it, to be honest.
I found the dirtiest, muddiest roads I could just to get it dirty. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it does take a lot away. But then that's a lot. And I said on my last video, there's good points and bad points with every bike.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. Every single bike you ride. But for me, the BMW's got more good points than it has bad points. So I'm happy with it. But the different modes, I mean, yourself on the Versys, you had what you could change the a few little settings, but not much.
Yeah.
But there is a lot goes on, a lot changes when you switch from mode to mode.
Yeah.
A lot changes. Every single one is completely different.
Did you two have the 1000 or the 650 Versys?
1000.
I had the 1000. Yeah.
1000.
Nice. Yeah. Good bikes.
See, Booze is
awesome bike.
Same ESA suspension that I've got on mine. And when Booze is, the 1000 RR, I mean, that thing's a weapon. That's built for track. It's built for road. It's built to move. And he's got the same suspension I've got. And once you stick that in road, it's like a magic carpet. You stick it in dynamic, you can completely feel the difference on that bike.
Yeah. It's amazing how,
Yeah, 2 years ago I got rid of my Versys 1000. The only reason I got rid of it was because I was riding it. I was out riding the bike, and that should never happen, in my opinion. I don't
want to go around with a bunny cup. Sorry, carry on.
I think so.
We wasn't judging at all.
I was judging myself, mate. It's shameful.
I don't think you should ever feel like you are out riding your bike. Your bike should always feel like it gives something more to you. Towards the end of the 4 years of me owning the Versys 1000, I felt like I could do more than the bike was doing for me. I felt like the bike was holding me back. So that's why I changed up to the 1400. And I think it was 6 years ago, 7 years ago, me and Andy went to a showroom and I test rode 2 bikes. And one was a Versys 1000 and one was a GTR 1400. And I bought the Versys 1000. Andy had one at the time. He just bought one. And that was the right bike for me at that time.
Yeah.
And I worked my way up. But, that's the way I feel, and I love the mechanical feeling of a bike. I love the bike pushing me and feeling me, and I love feeling what
I get that, mate. Yeah.
I want to feel what my tyres are feeling on the tarmac. I want to be able to feel through my hands and my arse everything that's in contact with the bike. I want to feel that because I want to know where I'm at.
And that's
A bit like the
get
VFR, I suppose.
Well,
see the last vid I put up, and we went to Inverary, and there's quite a lot of sleeping bends on that road, right? And Graham's was sitting behind me, and we had a chat when we were at Inverary, and we were talking about the roads in general and stuff. And he'd said, you took that bike to the limit. I could see the back end sliding out when you were going around some of those big bends. And I was like, I didn't feel that. I felt none of that going round there. I felt that the bike was still solid doing its thing. And then I started worrying about it, thinking, well, maybe it is sliding out and I'm just not feeling it sliding out. But I don't think so. I think Graham's was just... I think he was maybe just a bit jealous because he couldn't do it. I don't know what it was, but no, with the VFR, I think you feel every bump in the road. Let's not be wrong with that. But I think it's good that you can feel that, because then you kind of know what the road is and how the road feels, and there is certain types of certain road surfaces that are.
It keeps you tuned, doesn't it?
Those early warnings, can't
I think
you?
so,
You're
you get that.
Yeah.
Aye, without a doubt, you definitely get that.
On what you're doing and what you're riding. I mean, if you're just having a gentle ride where you're just going down your normal roads, you're going your 30-mile-an-hour limit, you're following your cars, you're doing whatever. And the option that obviously Boo's on about, and me as well, is that if you want a comfortable ride where you're not feeling all these bumps and jigs and everything else, and you're going over every imperfection in the road, and you want a smoother ride, then road and rain are set as a dynamic to be that soft and that gentle and take it all the way. It's a bit like a swan. Underneath you, it's and you're doing that. But when you do start to get a giddy on and you push it, even if you leave it in road and you really start to wind that bike on, the suspension will automatically change its rebound and change its setting. But you stick it into dynamic, and seriously, I can sit on my bike and rock it 6 or 7 inches in road. Stick it in dynamic, and you're like that.
It's massive difference on the BMs. Yeah,
huge difference. So it's just the way the mode is. I mean, I think if they'd have brought the GTR on with the way that technology's moved on, you'd have had similar settings, and you'd have noticed a difference. You know, when you want to feel the feedback and you want to get feedback, you stick it in a dynamic or what is specifically a sportier mode. So you get that feedback. But just if I'm just going to ride from here into town, I don't want to feel every bump and every little. So I'm not pushing the bike enough for it to affect it. You know, I just want a nice smooth ride in. If I'm sitting on a motorway, do I want to feel every bump in a motorway for 2 or 3 hours? Do I? Hell. And I think for that, it's perfect.
I found that with the CB1000R. I think it can be quite rough. You feel every bump, you feel everything on the road with it. And then when you go to the VFR, it's totally different. Where it's smoother, but it's probably nothing like you were saying, Andy. You know, you'll still feel the road with it, but it's nothing like the CB1000R. I mean, you do. It's like in some cases it's knocking your fillings out when you go over some of the roads with it, because it is a really hard ride at times when you're riding that.
Have you got riding modes on your CB1000? Because it did on the one I had, the 2022.
Yep. Yes, you have standard, rain, and sport.
That's it.
Then you've got a user mode. Yeah.
When on the settings on the VFR, obviously when you got standard, sport, and road, that obviously changes throttle response, ABS.
On the CB, yeah, it does a wee bit, yeah.
Does it actually change the suspension as well? Because on the BMW, it's electronically. See, that's the difference. You see, the BMW changes the whole dynamics of the bike.
It does,
a lot, and that's the big difference, I think.
The suspension's quite basic, isn't it? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. The suspension's quite basic on the 1,000 hour. Is that fair to say, Lockwood?
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, there is. I think depending on your weight, there's a lot of riders change the rear shock because it is pretty limited.
Yeah.
I'm 12 and a half stone, so the standard shock's good enough for me. You know, if I think I've turned it a wee bit and it's enough. What's that?
I said, so's my left leg.
And I've tweaked the front a wee bit.
Mind you, he weighs twice as much as Wev Bombs.
I've kind of got it. I think I've hit the sweet spot with the CB. I've kind of got it the way I want it, but you're right. I mean, it's very basic suspension.
Yeah,
to be honest.
It's one setting and that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
well, you know what I mean to an extent. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Preload and that's all you get.
Yeah. You can tweak it.
Set your rebound, but once it's set, it's set. So
yep.
You either set your rebound and your preload up for some, some hard riding, or you set it up for some gentle riding. Where this electronic stuff it knows what you're doing. It knows the angle of the bike. It knows your speed. It knows what you're doing. It knows the style of your ride. My bike, you get on my bike, it weighs you. It knows exactly what weight it's got to deal with, what it's got to put on.
Is that why your bike said to me, "Get off your fat bastard" when I say on it?
Yeah. Stop moaning about my front end.
You probably heard me say.
At a time, please.
You probably heard me say this before, but when the Tracer 900 GT first came out last year, I was speaking to a guy, and he'd had it for a couple of months, and it has got this dynamic suspension thing going on, and I really like the look of it, and I was thinking about trading the CB in to go for a 900 GT, and he was telling me that the dynamic suspension is phenomenal. He said, honestly, it's like witchcraft going on under your ass. He said it doesn't matter if you're going on a straight road, it's perfect. If you go on some nice twisties and some nice bumpy roads, it'll adjust that suspension to suit that. And you can feel it. You can actually feel it making the changes. Yep.
100% agree. I mean,
he loved it.
If I'm riding in road and I'm riding, it's probably the same on Boo's bike. If you're riding in road and you're just gently bimbling around, and then you think, I'm going to wind it on, but you don't bother to change your mode, you can actually feel it under your arse when you hit it into a bend, stiffening up on you, and just literally adapting to how you're riding. And it's witchcraft. I dread to think what it cost if it ever went wrong. Bloody scary, I would have thought.
It's inspiring though for things like that when you know that you can just throw it into a corner and it's going to sort it out.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. I mean, I did watch a video the other week on the braking system on the bike, and it's totally unnatural for any rider to throw a bike in a bend at 40 mile an hour and get it leant right over and slam the brakes on. I don't think anyone here would try it. It's totally unnatural, but they were trying to get these guys to do it. And eventually they were doing it. And the way the bike handled itself and came to a stop, I was astonished. I didn't think how anything could sort that out and come to a stop like that with a bike leaned over like that in a controlled manner. And anything that's saves, like we've all done it. We've all gone into a corner and thought, oh, fuck, I'll fuck this up halfway through it. And
only once.
So we've all done it.
But that's it. As soon as you slam the brakes on, the bike just wants to sit up, doesn't it?
And this will apply as much pressure as it can before it stands you up. Very, very clever. And I just watched a video and it's something I'd like to try, but I wouldn't like to try on a public road. But
or on your own bike.
They were getting these guys to do it. And it was amazing what they were doing.
But I think that's where electronic suspension really comes in, is when you really are in the shit and you go, like you say, you go around the corner or something like that, and then you think there is absolutely no way I'm going to get around this, and then the electronics will do something, you don't even know what it's doing, and it will just get you around there, wouldn't it?
It's freaky. It is freaky.
I mean, I'm one of those people, I like simplicity in bikes, really. I like all the electronic stuff, but you pay a lot of money for it, don't you, at the end of the day? And I don't know, I just like the mechanical feel of a bike, which is why I've got my 98 BMW. That's why I enjoy riding that more than any other bike.
My first few bikes, never had anything. It was all raw. You learn, you seat of the pants stuff. But obviously, as you progress on and you want different bikes, I like to buy new bikes. I've had 3 brand new bikes in concession, and unfortunately, this is on their bikes. They don't turn around and say to you, "Well, we do one without that if you prefer it." Stuff like that. You learn to ride with it, and I think that's progression. Unless you're buying the older bikes, you ain't going to walk into a showroom and get a bike without it soon.
No.
Yeah.
Even 125s are going to go down that route.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, the CB1000R. I mean, even now, I suppose you just don't get that active suspension that you get. It's still quite old school to a point. I think the Fireblades and stuff they're all electronic, and you can see. I've got mates that've got the new Fireblades, and you can see the rods going into the front forks. It's totally electronic. But I still, I've got a mate that said, "Oh yeah, you adjust this and you do that, and this is off road, this is on road, or whatever it is on his Fireblade, and it'll adjust the suspension to suit." And straight away, I'm like, I'd rather just do it myself. To be fair, I'd rather just adjust.
When you've got 18 different settings for a suspension and 18 different settings for the acceleration, it gets so mind blowing, doesn't it? You don't know which one you want.
Yeah. And I think as you get older, it gets even more mind-boggling, to be honest.
Yeah, that's why I like Royal Enfields. Yeah.
I think there's 7 on that Beamer. 7 different riding modes. You got Eco, Dynamic, Pro, Rain, Enduro, and Enduro Pro. Now the Pro modes are fully customizable. You can go into them and you can set them what you want. You can turn anti-wheelie off. You can turn your traction control off. You can give it full beans. You can give it quick throttle response, and you can muck around with every single setting you want. And the standard ones, they are what they are, but you can only select 4 at any one time. And to be honest, I only really use 3 anyway. And they can be done on the fly. So if I'm riding around town, it's in road. It's raining, obviously, you just stick it in rain because everything's a little bit more sensitive. And then when you see the twisters, you just push a button and it just stiffens up and goes into sport mode. It's a bit like a car, just flicking it into sports mode.
Yeah.
Some can go over the top. I mean, some of the bikes got like 12 settings. You've got to go into sub menus and stuff like that. I'm like, what the hell? You finished by the time you've done all that?
Yeah, you're already pissed off even before you even pull away. One of the things that I've learned since test riding all the bikes I've done is that, and I'm not talking about the GS here, but if anything's going to go wrong, it's going to be something electronic every single time. I mean, I've sent bikes back before now with the engine management light on, and other bikes that are cut out on me, and it's the one thing which actually, it's a great idea, but it causes a lot of problems as well. Somebody was saying about the active suspension there, but yeah.
Empty Valley, you mentioned the active suspension would be too much to put on a 125.
Yeah. I don't know if you know the Harley.
You ride so many different bikes doing your reviews. You get to feel the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? It's like me and Simon or whatever to walk in a dealership and spend all day going around 10 dealerships riding 10 different bikes. It would just be crazy. But where you test ride bikes, you get to pick and you get a bigger knowledge of what you actually want in your own bike.
Yes, you do. But I would say that I don't know how long you've been riding for, Andy. You've been riding for years, or?
I was riding when I was younger. I stopped when I was about 17, 18, and I didn't really get back on. I've been riding for about 8 years now.
Yeah.
So obviously I found out what cars were all about and what I could do on the back seat with a girl in a car. So I actually stayed with cars.
Yeah. I'm never that lucky, but yeah.
Well,
but the point I was going to get to then is that although yes, I'm really lucky to try all these different bikes. If I stuck you on the bike, and how do I word this? If I stuck you on the bike like a GS or something like that, first of all, you'd all have different opinions of it, as I do. When I do a review, I try and allow for everybody, tall, short, fat, thin, whatever.
Neutrality.
But you will always find out the same thing as what I do. I can ride a bike up the end of the road and know if I like it or not. So can you. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I test rode a few bikes before I bought the Beamer. I mean, I did test. I tried the Multistrada. I tried the KTM, and yeah, in the end settled on what I settled. But it's
Yeah.
I've got to admit, when I ride a bike, whether or not I'm going to like it or not, I know by the time I've hit second gear.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly that. That's exactly
by
what
the
I mean.
time I put it in second gear and I'm going down the road, I know whether or not I like that bike,
Yeah.
regardless what it is. Anyway,
Yeah.
I know.
And that's the thing which I was really baffled by, because I get the long termers now. I've got a bike at the moment, the Vosges, which I've got for 2 or 3 weeks now. But whether it's the Harleys or Hondas, I thought that I was going to learn a lot more after that 2 weeks. But in fact, truth is, I don't really. I can make better videos. I get to know the bike a bit more, but it's no different than the first couple hours that
You
that I
get to
ride
know
it quite
some of its
often.
nuances and some of its what it can do and what it can't do and what it feels
Yeah.
like in this situation, that situation.
Yeah.
But whether or not you are going to like a bike or not, if you ride it up the road, by the time you hit second gear, I think you know whether you like that bike or not.
Definitely. Exactly that, Simon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody says to me, oh, you're going to learn so much more in 2 weeks. No, not really. I learned it riding up the road. I hit second gear and I just thought the Sinister Terrain 380, you know, I won't say too much about it, how much I like that bike, but it wasn't very much. Whereas I can ride another bike, CB1000, wasn't for me, but it's a brilliant, brilliant bike.
Yeah.
I mean, I rode two ZZR 1400s for Darren. He had two of them, and one was a newer one with lots of bits and pieces done to it, and he had these cans, Acroprovic cans, and all the rest of it on it. And he had another one that was pretty much bog standard. And he said, "Go out and ride them two and tell me which one you like." And he thought I was going to like the one that was his at the time, which wasn't for long, but which was the one with all the new cans and everything else on it. I said, "You know what? I prefer that one." He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, that one rides better." He said, "Why is that?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "I rode it and I flicked it round the same route. I'd done exactly the same route on both of them, and I said that one rode better." Why is that? I said, I can't answer you why, but that one felt better. That one was more responsive. That one did this, and where this one that's been interfered with didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel as comfortable. It didn't feel as planted. It didn't do this. It didn't do that. They both had the same tyres on, and he'd set the pressures up and everything else on both of them because he'd serviced them. So yeah, it was really, really weird. But the one he thought that I would love better, I said was a piece of shit compared to this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's often the way it works.
Yeah, it's mad that when you think about it, isn't it? It's all the same components, it's all the same chassis, same engine, everything's the same, but for some reason you just
one had been molested in my mind, and one hadn't, because one had been not only had cans on it, it had commanders and things and whatever it was it done to it. It made it a worse ride than this one.
Yeah, fueling maybe, bit punchy.
It wasn't punchy. It just felt unhappy no matter what I did. No matter what I did, I couldn't make the bike
like
feel
my
happy. Yeah.
see.
No, I made your missus feel happy. No, I'm kidding.
Somebody had to, mate. Yeah. I thought that was impossible, but yeah.
There you go. It can be done.
But no, it just no matter what I did, this bike wasn't unhappy, but the other one was, and the older one was happier, doing what I wanted it to, whereas the newer one wasn't. And they were both the same gen, but one had been
messed around. Yeah.
Simon, I took the CB1000R out for a test ride at the local Honda dealers in Glasgow, and I loved it. And then I had a wee scratch on the tank and a couple of wee bits. You know, I was that way. I was looking for a deal, and they just weren't prepared to give me the deal. I think it was obviously an ex-demo. They were looking to sell it for what they were asking for. It just didn't appeal. So as you do, you start looking online to see what's out there. And when I got the bike that I've got now, I took it out and it just didn't feel the same as what the test bike was. And I thought I'd made a mistake on buying the CB. I really did, and I'd been out a few rides with the boys and stuff, and I just didn't feel confident on it. It was the only bike I had at the time. It wasn't like I was kind of, looking at that against the VFR or anything. That was the only bike I had at the time.
Yeah.
And then I changed the tyres and tweaked the suspension a wee bit and fell in love with it after that. And that's what it was. It was the tyres.
Sometimes it can be a couple of turns on that suspension.
Tyres. Well, I think the suspension just kind of like made me feel a wee bit more confident, but it was definitely the tyres. The tyres made a big difference to the bike.
I don't know about tyres. I mean, all tyres are different. I grant you that. Whether you got this tyre, that tyre, blah blah blah. But when it comes to actually road use on tyres, unless you're Valentino Rossi driving it around the track, I don't think tyres make a huge difference. To a degree.
I get what you're saying.
I think tyres.
Tyres are personal preference. Andy has always been a Michelin man, hasn't you?
Yeah, same as me.
I've always liked road pilots, from the 4s to the 5s. Obviously, I'm going to give the 6s a go.
Yeah.
But obviously, I've picked the GS up, and it's got Michelin on it, but they're Anarchy Adventures, so they're blocks. They're designed for a bit of off road.
That's what I've got on this Vosges.
Yeah, when you now throw it into a corner, you can feel the movement under your arse on the back wheel of the block slightly moving, but I don't feel that now like I used to when I first got the bike. I think you just tone it out, you expect it, you know what that tyre is going to do now, and you get a bit more confident. A lot of it's down to confidence in the tyre.
Yeah.
You'll find a tyre you like, you'll find a tyre that's give you confidence in the wet, and people tend to stick to it. But I, like Simon, I don't, like you say, unless you're Valentino Rossi, I mean, you can put any tyre on any bike, and after a while you'll get confidence in it and you'll be happy with it. I don't think there's a modern tyre that's bad anymore.
I don't know. I would disagree. I don't know if it was just the tyres that were on that bike. It was Dunlop D204s, I think, that were on it.
Yeah.
And
Dunlop. We said tyres you had on it. Sorry.
Yeah, we didn't know you were talking about.
I did a couple of 1,000 miles on it, and
they were worn out and
really
you threw them away.
shit.
Yeah.
And I tweaked the suspension because I was thinking that's an easy fix. Tweaking the suspension is an easy fix because obviously you just that doesn't cost you anything to do that. But then as soon as I put the Pirelli Angels on it, it totally transformed the bike. And from the word off. And I'm not saying 100 miles in, scrubbing them in. I'm saying
instant.
As
soon as I took that out of the garage,
I think it's the way they tip in and stuff like that, because I know the tyres I've got on the GS at the minute, being a more trially type tyre or an off-road tyre, they don't tip in as quick as a road tyre would. So you really got to throw it into a corner. Where I find where I've got the road pilots on, it's like being on an ice skate. They'll tip in really quick.
That's exactly what I think. Yeah.
And I think that's the difference with the tyre. You've obviously found a tyre that tips in quicker and handles better for your style of riding.
Yeah.
And that was probably, like you say, that's probably the main difference between the two bikes.
What the way I know it sounds silly, but one of the tests that I do is where I live. You kind of get used to different roads, don't you? But when I get a test bike, I anchor on, see what the ABS is like, see if it cuts in too quick, too slow, whatever. But when I've got Angel GTs or the Michelin Road 5s or now Road 6, quite often it's quite hard. It's quite difficult to get the ABS to cut in because it's gripping so well. Or is it the other way around? So I'm confusing myself now. But yeah, you can tell instantly with the Michelins, the Road 5s, they grip so well. That's my personal preference on tyres.
Quite quick as well. The roads, the pilots, they get up to temperature quite quick. I mean, today I had a hell of a job getting heat in them tyres. obviously it's been sitting in the garage, in a cold garage for 2 weeks, and I took it out in the morning. It's only 3 degrees and the road's cold, and it took a while to get the tyre switched on. But I find the road pilots used to switch on quite quick in the colder weather.
Yeah, it almost feels instant, doesn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I've always had on my GTR. I've always had Angels on it, STs, GTs, and GTs.
They're great. They're brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. And my mechanic, or our mechanic, Andy, Darren, sorry, he took my bike out. He's a Michelin man, and he took my bike out to go pick something out. I said, I'll just take my bike, so he did. He took my bike out, and when he come back, he said, your bike tips in lovely. I said, it's really nice and crisp, and it tips in lovely. And I said, that's the tyres. That is the crown on the tyres. Pirellis are very pointy, if you like. Or the tyres on it I had were very pointy. So that is why it tipped in so nice. You like Michelin's, but very flat. So in the wet, you get better braking, better blah, blah. But I get the nice little tipping bit. And so it is
Yeah.
for what you
Swings
want.
and roundabouts. Yeah.
You're never going to get the perfect tyre that will suit everybody. You would never will. I mean,
No.
The Angel
the
T-
Pirelli suit me.
GTs,
Before that, I had the
perfect.
Bridgestones. You was asking about Bridgestones 23s before. Yeah, I had them on I actually had them on my Versys, and they were a lovely tyre. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they're hard wearing as well, because I used to get, I think it was 15,000 out the front and about 10 out the rear. So
Oh, good.
That's
They
a
were really
lot
good.
of mileage. Yeah.
that's another thing. When I look at tyres, I look for mileage, what I get out of them. I could put a pair of Michelin whatever's on and get 6,000 out of a rear and 8,000 out of a front, whereas the Angels, I'll get nearly 10,000 out of a rear and 15 out of a front. So where I'm a commuter, which am I going to go for? I'm going to go for the Pirellis, aren't I? I'm going to go for the one that gives me value for money. So
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Go on, Lockwood. All yours, mate. Go for
No,
it.
on you go. Carry on.
I ain't got not much to say. I was going to say that the tyres that I've got to get on my BMW, it's the first set of tyres that I've ever bought for a motorbike, because I've always got rid of them before I've had to change the tyres. So
So
I've
have you
only
got
just
the
thought that's
tyres
a bit
yet?
strange.
Are you just going to get a set? Or have you
and
got a set?
Exeter's cars, when the ashtray's full, he usually gets rid of it then as well.
Yeah.
Petrol, push it to the sales garage.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a few bangers in the past.
Yeah,
No,
me
bless
too. And all I was going to say is the tyres that I've got. I mean, the Angel GTs that I've got are the only tyres, and I don't know if it's to do with the profile, where I have no chicken strips at all.
Right.
And I've never had a tyre that's been like that. And I don't know if it's just because the profile maybe just comes up so far. I don't know what it is about or whether I can just throw it in, you know, as a bigger lean. I really don't know, but I just can't see past them, to be fair. And the Road 5s, Road 6s, I don't know. I'm from Scotland, as you know. I'm a tight bastard, so I'll go for the
Lockwood,
cheaper
you're
tyre.
Scottish. I never knew.
I'm not going to mention about the stamp. Oh, in fact, I will. Did Lockwood sent me some of his stickers, and I thought it's taken a long time. Why is it taking so long? Anyway, so I get this card through the post from Royal Mail saying, "Oh, you got something to pick up from the post office." So I think, "Oh shit."
Because he hadn't paid enough postage.
Yeah. And so I go in and I pick up this envelope, and it's got a 1 pence stamp on it. And to be fair, he'd done it by an accident, but he put a 1 pence stamp on the envelope. Cost me £2, the bastard. But
That's all it was. £2.
it was £1 something. Yeah, not a lot.
That
But
was mad. That whole story happened because I'd ran out of my first class stamps in my book, and I went into the office that day, and I knew that we'd send stuff from the office, and I just opened the top drawer, and I seen the stamps, picked one off, and stuck it on. No realising it was a 1p stamp, but yeah. Sorry about that.
To be honest, it's no good backtracking. The damage has been done.
They done a 1p stab.
That is brilliant.
It was a
That is
1p
why
stamp,
we
it
sell
really
the
was.
1p stamp. We want to
I'm
make
gonna
a
go
pound and fucking 79p out of you.
It's definitely true. The further north you go, the tighter they get.
What's got a flag on it?
Without a doubt.
It didn't even have a flag on it. No.
Oh, brilliant.
It makes you laugh, and then Royal Mail will charge you a £1 handling fee for.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
At the end of the day, we got a story out of it. So
yeah, absolutely,
Oh,
mate. Yeah, that's it.
So, yeah, my time bastard. So, yeah.
Crumbly Mal says, have you ever tested the Suzuki GSR 750? No. I haven't. I'd like to, but I haven't.
I have.
Have you?
I have. Yeah. See, we talked earlier about, see, when you stick that bike into second gear, you know it's a great bike. I had a CBR 600 at the time. It was the last of the carb model. I can't remember what that was. And my mate had a brand new GSXR 750 and he gave me a shot. And as soon as I got on this thing, I was like, oh, God,
I want one.
This is amazing. And just the way it was so silky smooth. I mean, it probably only had a few hundred miles on it. It was brand new, but I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Superb. Yeah. And it's that. It's no a 600. It's no a 1000, but it's got the torque of a 1000.
Yes, I know what you mean.
You know, you've still got to quite ring it if you really want to push it. But no, it's a great bike. 750.
Yeah. Maybe the sweet spot is that? Do you reckon?
Oh.
The way it delivered its power.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of talk that the 750 was the good all rounder. I would say that. Yeah, absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was a great bike. Yeah. So yeah, try one.
Yeah, no, I'd like to. Yeah, but
I'm not
see how
built.
that goes. Stick a 1p stamp on code Crazy mail. Sorry.
I didn't stick a 1p stamp on Code Gray's email, without a doubt.
Has he been in tonight? He hasn't been in tonight, has he?
Not
No,
think
he's
Cody,
not.
no.
No. He's not. He's a good lad.
Oh, he's brilliant. He's a real class chap.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
It's amazing how many videos he watches, isn't it? He's subscribed to everybody, I think.
Yeah, I'd said that last
I
week.
think he
It's
is.
like
He follows everybody, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
always
follows so many. Yeah, he does. He follows so many. I'm always slagging him because all his videos he rides in a straight line, but so, he does though. But he's got good content. He's got good chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
To be fair, I've actually followed nobody in the last week. I've not watched any videos in the last week because I've been actually quite ill towards the beginning of the week. So,
All right, you all right?
I've got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
I tend to try and catch when I'm off. Try and catch them as they come on, and then catch up. But I think it gets to a point where you subscribe to so many people, you have to pick and choose what you want to watch.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Mind you, do comment on a lot of my stuff, Andy, fucking early in the morning. It's before I even get out of bed.
I am a humble follower. I watch everything you put up humbly. I wait. I know what day it's coming on. I'm like, why? I was sitting here Thursday thinking it was Wednesday yesterday. Why ain't he put nothing up about the meet? Why ain't he put nothing up? I was on tenterhooks, just waiting for that video you never.
That's because I was fucking ill and I didn't go. Yeah.
Message me.
I don't know. I'm dead conscious of it because you do. I mean, I think that last one I put up was 20 minutes, and you're trying to catch the story. I don't know. Sometimes you feel like you're building a story of the day out, and you're kind of like trying to reduce not so much boring shit, but you're trying to take a lot of the stuff out
The fluff.
keep you interested in it. And then you're 20 minutes in and you're like, fuck, 20 minutes is quite long. But it really has to be 20 minutes to kind of show what's happened and, you know, how it ends. but you don't get much. You don't get. You'll get. You don't really know how much people's looking at it. You'll maybe see somebody's looking at a 20-minute video for 5 minutes, or
Yeah.
you know they're flicking through it. Whereas if you stick a 5-minute video on, you're getting a lot more. And it's whether you go down that route of sticking a 5-minute video on to get the views, or whether you just do what you want to do and do your 20 minutes.
So that's about the content, isn't it? I mean, I'll tend to, I'll quite happily sit here and watch a 40-minute video if someone's doing a tour or trip around somewhere I'm interested in going. I'll quite happily sit and watch it rather than sit there and watch telly. But if someone's talking about something I'm not that interested in, a particular bike I'm not interested in, or they're visiting some museum or whatever they're doing, you will flick through the video and try and pick up bits of the content.
Yeah.
So again, I think it's just selective what people are interested in at the time, what you want to see at the time.
Yeah.
Hello,
I think it's an
Simon.
instant.
Ukrainian killers are up on your chat.
Excellent.
I think with length of videos, I think it's quite difficult sometimes when you're under pressure anyway to watch a lot of YouTube content. And like I'm a killer for it. I used to be terrible for it. I used to put on 30-minute videos and things. But when it comes up on your feed, you think 20 minutes. I think, shit, I ain't got 5 minutes, let alone 20 minutes. But it just depends what you want to put out, isn't it? Whether you're doing it for yourself or for the people watching. It's the way I see it. And
Ourselves, don't we, as well, to be honest. I mean, if you weren't putting it out yourself, would you bother doing it? You know? I talk about what I want to talk about and put up what I want to put up because that's what I want to do. I know a lot of my family watch. My granddaughter's my daughter, you know, and obviously when I'm away, they like to follow what we're doing. So for me, I'll put that up, and if other people get enjoyment out of that and want to watch it, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I'd done the bike show. I didn't particularly when I went down the bike show, I didn't particularly set out to record a video to put up on YouTube. That was made up of 20 or 30-second clips of me just saying, "Oh, we're here. This is who we're with," and then off to the next stand, switch it off for another 30 seconds. And for me, it was just a visual reminder of my day out.
Yeah.
So I put it together. I put it on YouTube, and if people want to enjoy it, fine. If they don't, it's there for me to enjoy.
And I did. And I'll tell you for why I enjoyed it. It's because it was 30 seconds. It's no whiffle waffle. It was like, there's that bike, 30 seconds. I'm into that. Next minute, it's moving on. And so, you know, so you had a blast shot of each bike. And you think, what's coming next in your mind? So it keeps you engaged. Whereas if you stood there, you know, and talked about it and just, you know, slowly, and there's no content for 3 minutes a bike, you probably get 3 minutes in and off it goes.
Yeah, I think it came out well for what it was. Never intended to do a vlog for it. I just thought, you know what, I'm going to have a laugh with it. I'm going to put it up and I'm going to talk about, you know, a few bits, have a laugh with the people that are there, get the people on the stand involved, make them laugh. And we just had a laugh. And it was literally 30-second clips, 40-second clips. And I just literally threw them all together, no editing, and just blasted it straight out.
And it worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worked.
Weird.
It's
very
quality
weird,
content,
you know.
Andy. It is
And
quality
I
content, and it's honest. And I'll tell you what, the one thing people don't do is they don't do honest content. And that's what you throw up. It's just you, this is it, boom, there you go. And that's refreshing. That's really good.
Tried to do that and planned. If you thought, right, I'm going out, I'm going to do this video, and I'm going to do a vlog on it, and I'm going to make a day of it, and I'm going to do this, and I think it would have come out completely shite, if I'm honest.
Fuck me, that's my videos. Yeah. Oh, sorry, language. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear.
To be honest with you, Andy, knowing you, if you tried to script it, it would have been shit. But because you did it as you,
I just winged it. Yeah, it's like the woman I called our Uber driver is my neighbour, my wife's best friend. You know, she come along for the day, and that's you know that's why she cringed, and what you weren't seeing off camera was her turning around and clocking me one for calling her Olive, and that's her bike and stuff like that, and it was just a laugh. We just had a great day out. It was a laugh, you know, and it was just it was just good fun. Just good fun. It was
Yeah.
a good video. Together. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's just it. Because you did it so honestly, and it was so honest, it is so relaxed. People buy into it. But if you do something that is so faked and staged, people can see that and they don't buy into it.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming.
Yeah, totally
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. You do totally get that. You know, if you just do your own thing, and there's sometimes where you'll do a video and you think it's shit, and then you'll start, scripting it together and it's actually not bad. And then there's
Yeah.
other ones, as you know, where you think, oh, that's been a great
gonna be a
fit,
hit.
and it's shit. You know, it just you pull
Yeah.
it together and it's shit.
Yeah.
And then I think as well, for me, I've noticed is that if you get certain guys involved, like Grems, Stephen, Mark, people start referring to them in the comments and say, "Oh, it was good when Mark did this" or whatever, and you feel like they're getting to know the people that you're interacting with.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing as well. And for me, that's what does it for me. It's not the views; it's people commenting on saying certain things.
I
Yeah.
think people
Yeah.
want to pick up on personality as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Don't want to sit there and look at a reporter. You don't want that. You want someone's honest opinion. You want to feel like there's someone you'd sit down and have a drink with and have a chat with and
Mm.
just get on with. And I think that's bothered.
It's something I've always struggled with is being myself. It's always better to be yourself, isn't it? But sometimes when you've got a lot going on at work and a lot with, trying to be with the kids, and then you're going away, you don't really feel like filming. And then you've got it all in your head, you push record, you see that little red light flashing, and everything goes. And
Don't
I
look
try
at
and
the
be
red
myself
light. Don't
sometimes.
look at the red light.
Yeah. And you almost have to have like a couple hours warm up before you sort of get into the swing of it, I find. That's a bit I personally struggle with. I can't be myself. Which myself, if you met me in real life, I'm, quite funny and swear a lot and stuff like that. But I just can't seem to, because I'm holding myself back, I think. For a bit like Simon swearing. A bit like
Are
him.
you doing that for your public image, or are you doing that because that's what you perceive people see of you?
For public image, really, yeah. Yeah, I think.
See the very first video that I done, which was almost 2 years ago, and even though I had maybe 3 subs or something, and what I did was when the video went up, when it went live, I sent the link to about 3 or 4 of my mates and said, "Have a look at this video, give me your input, tell me what you think. Is it any good?" And they came back and said, "Yeah, it's decent, but what's with the fucking accent? That doesn't even sound like you. You're being nice. You're not talking
You was
like
talking posh."
yeah. And
What?
they were slagging shit out of me because I was talking posh, rather than just talking like me. And I think I think it's like I don't know. But yeah.
I tell you what,
You're right,
it's
Paul.
funny you should say that, because one of the very first videos I did, which my wife doesn't watch any of my videos because she said you got a boring voice, so yeah, she don't watch any of my videos. But one of the very first ones she did, she said, "Why are you talking like that?" She said exactly the same thing. She said,
Yeah.
"Who's that talking?" I said, "That's me." She said, "No, it fucking ain't." She said, "Why don't you talk properly like you normally do? Talk proper like what I does." Well, then I went, "All right then."
Yeah.
And now I do.
Water.
So, yeah, water's water.
Yeah.
But
And that's
I
where
think
you get it right,
that
Andy. Is you
comes from the not
Sorry.
being yourself and not being natural.
Yeah,
You gotta
but
be
Andy's
careful.
quite good at that, isn't he? He seems to come across quite simple. Not simple, wrong. Simply that he's. Sorry, I'm paying you a compliment. I messed it up.
No,
But
he comes
you
across
seem to be
as-
natural, like
He's quite natural, and he says what he thinks. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you buy into that, don't you? Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is Yeah, I put today. I didn't really know what I wanted to chat about. I just thought, you know what, I want to put something up. I want to get on the bike. I might as well record it. I want to try the new camera position, so I'll start there. And literally 3 minutes or a minute from 2 minutes from my house, I started recording, and I managed to waffle on all the way to my destination. You know, because stuff just pops in your head. 1 minute you think, right, I'm going to end it here.
Andy, you got to say, Andy, when you start your talks, like you started one of your videos about the stuff you put on your bike while you're in your garage. It's sort of like you come across of like, I'll tell you exactly my impression from the very beginning was, this is what I got, this is how I did it. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. If you want to watch it, how I did it, then watch. And then you proceeded, and that was like so refreshing, because it's like, okay, so this guy's now giving me a choice right at the beginning of the video, that this is what he's got, and this is what he's going to do. But if you don't want to know how it's done, then fuck off. But other than that, I'm going to do it. So
that's a good point. Yeah.
If you get one or two people, and you know you've helped them or saved them a few quid, then albeit great. You know, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, I've watched a few channels now, and you just know they're just they're being very commercial. I'd rather watch an honest video than someone
stuff.
So they can show me their sponsor. Show me, you know, I've got 500,000 followers, and I'm making all this and I'm doing all that, and I'm like, well, it's fine, but I could just sit there and watch the fucking telly if I want to watch the news, the scripted news. But I tend to watch a lot of the smaller channels, and stuff like that. Personally, I do watch obviously some of the bigger channels as well. I do catch up with some of TMF stuff if I'm interested in what he's waffling on about, but
it comes across really good, TMF, and RV. I like Richie Vida a lot.
Yeah, Richie Vida, he's
still
down to earth. Yeah, I think I struggle with the bigger ones now, to be honest with you.
Lamb chops.
There's a number of reasons for that, which I won't go into, but I struggle with the bigger ones. But Richie Vida is he's very down to earth.
I would say he's decent. Mr.
Lamb
Fish.
chops.
Richie Vida comes across as himself. I believe that's how that guy.
Yes.
From what I understand, that's what he's not trying to be anyone he isn't. He's not saying I'm Richie Vida, I'm all this, I'm all that. He couldn't. I think he's in the same mindset. He couldn't care less. If you're interested in watching his video, great. Thanks very much for watching. If you're not, fuck off.
Yeah. I think that is him. Yeah, without a doubt. But you look at some of the other guys, and
as of
it's all
8 minutes ago, it's my birthday.
Yeah. Do you want me to light the candle again? I'll light the candle again. Hold on.
You'll
probably good. I don't want to go.
You'll probably find, Simon, that Lockwood has actually sent you a card, but it might take a while to get through to you. You might have to pick it up.
I might have to go and pay some money to get it. Right.
Wait, when you go, blow your candle.
Oh, wow.
Blow your candle.
Oh my god, that's amazing. How the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
One hell of a pair of lungs here, fella.
Pyrotechnics. So, Exeter, I've got a question for you. Are you planning to come up this way this year, or I know you were thinking about it, or what's your thoughts?
To be honest, mate, I really want to do more riding, but the truth is that I keep on getting bikes, and I don't want to turn them down, because it seems I turn them down, somebody else will get it. So I'm struggling to find time to do any of that.
So how does that work then with getting bikes? Do you get contacted to
it's a two-way street quite often. They'll say, you know, this is what we've got coming up. They all work differently. But quite often, if something comes out, then I'll ask for it, if it's a new one. But sometimes they get in contact with me, but normally it's me getting in contact with them.
Right.
And begging.
Yeah.
Can I please ride your bike?
Yeah. But after a
give you a
while,
tenner.
it gets to a point like with Honda, instead of like, you only have to do one good video or do it nicely. Because the way I work really is that I put a lot of effort into it, you know, with the ride-by shots, the walk-arounds with the separate cameras. That's kind of how it works with me and why I've done quite well with it, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Do they watch your videos and give you feedback if you reviewed one of their bikes?
say that again, mate?
Did you, obviously you borrow a bike from Honda? The Honda watch your review of their bike
Yeah.
and give you. They do.
They don't give me feedback. They give you nothing. They say, here's the bike. I say to them, you know that I'm going to find some negative points. You've got to, because there's negatives in everything, even if it's splitting hairs. They say, yeah, that's fine. We understand that. Just take it and do what you need to do. So, yeah, and that's it really. You just say your thing and that's the end of it. If I really slated a bike, you know, if I thought something was really, really shit, then to be frank, I'd hand it back. And I was very close to doing that with the Sinis T380 because it didn't like it. And that shows on the review as well. But, you know, it's a difficult one because I know that you still have to draw the line. You have to say that you don't like it. It's not for you. Test ride one yourself and see what you think. But you can't go out and just say a bike's shit because that's not really telling the people anything, is it? You need to say why it's shit. You know, and diplomatically, you know, word it is the way I would say.
Yeah.
You know, I'd just leave it in a dish and say that was shit and fuck off because I really couldn't care less. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that's fair enough.
No, I get
But no, in all honesty, I've never ridden a shit bike. I struggled with the 380 a lot, and I know a lot of other vloggers have as well. But I've never really ridden a bike which I thought was really shit. Now, I've ridden ones which I could find a lot wrong with, and it wasn't for me, but that's not to say it's not for anyone else. You know, when you do a review, I think that I have to try and incorporate Lockwood and Andy GSA and Simon. So I've got to try and shoot at different angles. And even if it's crap.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff that you do, because a lot of them are reviews, and there'll be certain things that come up where I'll be like, oh, I want to see what that's about. Because I'm genuinely interested in the bike.
Yeah.
But there's other stuff that you'll maybe do a review on, and I'm not really interested in that. And I know it's a review.
Yeah, of course.
It's not like you're just doing a vlog and out for the day, you know.
Yeah,
which is different. But yeah. So certain ones I will look at. Yeah.
of course, mate. I mean, you're not going to look at a Sinis 125, are you? That's not your thing, is it?
Nah, not really.
No, exactly.
Unless it's the next video that comes on automatically after watching the last one. Yeah, or maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
watch
And
it.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't watch a video like that because I'm not interested in it. Whereas if it's I don't know, VFR or whatever, then I'm more interested in it. You know, it ticks the boxes.
Yeah, but I don't know. Last time I was on a 125, to be fair.
Yeah, I still watched it. Very weird.
What's that,
Sorry,
Andy?
Andy?
I actually watched that review because I thought that'd be a great bike for the missus, but she wants to go back on a little rev and go. So
Right.
No.
Yeah. The Sinis 125 is really good. Yeah, that's a good for a 125.
3 or 4 people have done reviews on them. They reckon they're really good little bikes.
Yeah, I love them. I loved it. Yeah. But then they totally messed it up with the 380.
Weird, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
You know, if you want one, get the 125. Don't get the 180. You know, don't get the 380.
380. No, that's right. Yeah.
MT Belly's got a question for you, XF.
No, I haven't, MT. No, I've that's in the making at the moment. I'm doing a bit with Vosges at the moment, which are basically from Lex Moto, but they're a separate company within a company. So yeah, I'm hoping to do a bit more. Rebel 1100, no, nearly did, but I ended up doing the Goldwing instead. I hear that the fueling's a little bit dodgy on the 1100, but as you've seen, I've done the 500, which was a small bike. For some more people, to be fair.
There you go. That one.
I'm going to recommend somebody here. I don't know if you guys watch John Die Hard McLean. I know he's a fellow Scot. He's a
Yes.
kind of friend of mine. But
I do
he
follow
did,
him.
he did a review on a YZF-R 125 that he's got. And
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that, Exeter, but it was kind of like, it wasn't a technical, it probably, you could say it was a long-term review that he had. But he did a review based on, if you want to buy this, this is how fast it goes.
Yeah.
This is how fast it goes uphill. This is how many miles you'll get out of your tank. You know, and if you want to buy one, go and buy one. And I thought that was a really good review because it was just like bog standard, the kind of things you'd want to know if
Yes.
you were going to go and buy a 125.
Yes.
Rather than get into the whole technical side of it and, you know, whatever it was. But yeah, I thought that was a decent wee review that you done.
Oh, good. Well, I'll have to
Yeah.
check that out. Yeah, I'd be interested in
Yeah.
seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You saying about the technical side, that's why I put all the spec up at the end on rolling credits. I don't know whether that's the right thing to do or not. It's just what I've always done.
Yeah.
But what it does then is it covers every base without going into it too deeply on the walk round. That's the plan in my head anyway.
Yeah.
So I've covered it, but not, because my walk rounds are quite long anyway. I'm trying to trim them down, but I just like being in front of the camera, if I'm honest with you. So I'm quite sad like that. But
It is good though, yeah, and having a bit of a cameo. Maybe I'll do a wee cameo one day where I can come in the background.
yes,
Doing it.
yeah. Because old Adam's coming up to see you soon, isn't he? It's April, isn't it? He's going up.
Yes, it's coming up in April, yeah. I might actually have to put him off. I start a new job on the 4th of April, and I know he's doing a Monday to Friday up here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to get a day off because I just start the new job on the 4th of April. But I'll message him. I might still be able to do it. I would really like to do a day because I did say that I was going to. He could have rode the VFR for the day.
Yeah.
That was the plan. But we'll see what happens.
See how it goes, isn't it? It's difficult, isn't
Yeah,
it? Trying to. Yeah.
It's hard. As I say, it's a new job. I don't really know until I start how it's going to pan out. But yeah, I might be able to do it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to do it. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, if I had time off then, I'd like to do it as well. Is it mid-April that he's thinking of going up?
I think so. Yeah. So I'll only be a couple of weeks in, and it would probably be maybe a Friday or something if I was going to do it.
Yeah.
And Graham's has got a van, so I know that he can stick the bikes in the back of the van, and we can go and meet him. But yeah, that was the plan anyway.
Yeah, he is. I know he's taking the piss, but he is actually a top bloke. He's a really nice.
No, I know
nice
he is.
chap, like.
Yeah, I know he is. I know he is. And he got a bit of stick when he put it on the Basic Bikers Facebook page. He was getting a lot of stick for the guys on that, and I was like, it's no credited. The guy is genuine. He really is.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
He was getting a lot of stick because he had basically asked about, can somebody lend me a bike?
Right.
And us Scots are a bit, as you know, we're a bit tight, so it was kind of like, what's he like asking for a bike? Who's this guy that wants a bike? And it just kind of went for there, and yeah. So
To be
he
fair,
got
it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? If somebody said to me, "I can I borrow a bike?" It's like, who are you? It's like,
well,
no.
yeah. But I know he was being genuine. That is the thing. A lot of these guys didn't know him, so yeah.
Yeah, he's a good bloke.
He's a good bloke.
Going back to vlogging again as well. There's a lot of vloggers that you don't actually see them. You see them in their crash helmet. You never see their faces. You never see who they are. Obviously, if it weren't for the live stream, you wouldn't really see Simon as such, because all his vlogs are from the side of his helmet. Same as Redford.
Yeah, go on, say it.
There's a lot of that out there as well.
Noob as well. I mean, Noob didn't come out until recently.
Oh, he's come out, has he?
Is he?
Yeah.
No, look what you've done.
Well, at me. Yeah, he's come out.
No, you're right. Yeah, in honesty, I think with Neeb, I think it was quite a big step for him to do the lives as well. you know, for the face reveal sort of thing. So,
Yep.
but no, he's done it. He's out modelling, you know, all the clothes and all sorts now, isn't he? I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, he's loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, nice, genuine chap, intelligent chap as well.
Yes, you can tell that from his. But when you listen to some of his vlogs, you can tell that he's a bright lad.
Yeah. Saddlebags as well. You know, absolutely cracking bloke. So salt of the earth. Yeah,
Yes,
and Western.
without a
they're
doubt. Yeah,
great blokes.
yeah. These are all different.
Yeah, I must admit, Exeter, I did enjoy your. I've enjoyed your last few live feeds you've done. You do a
Thanks for
very
coming along, mate.
professional-
Yeah.
You do a
Yeah, I
very
missed that one.
professional job. I must
No, I don't try and be professional. To be honest,
He
I'm
doesn't
shitting
read
myself.
anything though. He's great at doing He's great at doing it, but he doesn't read much.
Don't what, sir?
You don't read much.
Read?
You were saying, yeah. You were saying about a lot of the comments that you never.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
No,
was
you're
that-
quite right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you do. I mean, it must be quite hard though to, when you're hosting it, to be able to obviously
Yeah.
then look at all the stuff that's going on as well.
I said to the lads when I started it, I said that what I want to try and avoid is any dead space. And so if it goes quiet, then instantly, you know, I've got some bullet points I want to bring up, but I try and kill the dead space. And it's actually a lot of work, you know, trying to set up a live stream the way that, you know, that I do.
I know,
anyway.
it's exhausting. I'm tired.
Yeah. It's much easier. It is much better to do it like you do it, really, and let people in.
I'll let it flow. You got to let it flow. I mean,
Yeah.
And RevBomb. How can I say it? RevBomb likes to control his live stream. He likes to be full on,
Yeah.
and it works for him. Whereas I will quite happily, I'll get up and I'll go to the toilet, and I'll come back and you're still talking, which is what which is what this is all about.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, no, that's
all
nice to
free
do that, yeah.
Whatever people talking and to do it. I mean, last week I had Andy and Zedhead in the room.
Yeah.
That's all I had in the room, and I still managed to go right. Okay, at this point I can go to the loo, and I'll come back, and they're still going.
Yes.
And yeah, I do it very relaxed. That's the way I do it. I've had the stress.
That's it. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
I mean, Exeter, you
If
do.
I wanted
maybe?
to do a structured live stream, I certainly could, because you got your banners you can put up, you got the this and that you could do, and the branding and the
Yeah, it's a lot more work in that. That's what I do, and it's a lot of work.
There's a lot of work involved in that, and I appreciate that because I've seen what you do on yours, because you got your clips and you got your banners ready and you got
Yeah.
and
Nightmare,
I appreciate
mate.
all of that, which is why I stayed and watched the whole thing to get you that extra view and marriage. But
Yeah.
it's not what I'm
Stuff that, mate. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know why I do it. I really don't. But yeah. Sorry, like, what are you going to say? Something?
You do it because you love it, Exeter. Come on.
There's something about it, innit? It's addictive. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. It's just
It is,
addictive.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's times where I'm like, God, I get like 50 views for that vid. You know, either I'm shit or I don't know. I can't. Do I even want to do it anymore? You know, and you do get a wee bit. Sometimes you do get a bit. What was that?
I'm chuffed with 50 views. Woo!
But you do get a bit like that, and you think, is it even worth doing it? Is it worth
Yeah.
spending the time to do the edits and upload it and all that kind of stuff? You know, do
Yeah.
the wee thumbnail, and then you'll get somebody that will give you like a good comment, and you're inspired again.
Oh,
you know,
shit
in a
on.
way.
Yeah. And away you go again.
And that's all it takes. Is just
Yeah.
that one wee comment for somebody, you know, and you're inspired in the way you go. I mean,
Yeah.
what I was going to say earlier is, what you maybe put one out about one a month or something, or is there any time limit to when you do your live
Every
stream?
Sunday. Oh,
Every
sorry, the live
Sunday?
stream. Sorry,
Yes.
live streams. I aim for every 2 weeks, but reality is we had a big gap over Christmas, so it was going to be one every 2 weeks. But
Yep.
there's so much work involved in it. I've, you know, just the rest of it and normal life stuff. So
Right, mate.
I just float them up whenever I feel like it. Really. In fact, it's normally the lads that get in contact with me saying when's the next one, and then I'll just say like a couple of weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
Take him swimming, maiden wear helmet, riding penny. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That was on the first one, I think. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But I you're saying about when YouTube doing the YouTube thing drags you down. I still get that now. I quit YouTube every week, but you just keep going, and you get that nice comment, and you're off again, aren't you?
Yeah. That's it. You do. That's all it takes.
I
You just
go
need somebody
to because I
give you
travel
some
around
kind
in
of-
my work. Sorry, I travel around in my work to my unit, and someone will say, "I heard someone when in our branch was a YouTuber. It's you, isn't it?" And I go, "Yeah, it's me." And they go, "Oh, you're Simon GTR 1400." I go, "Yeah, that's me." And they go,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's really great to meet you." And I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might only happen
Yeah.
once a week, but it's sort of like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that a couple of weeks ago in the Yamaha dealers, and somebody recognised the VFR sitting outside, and I was just in. Me and Mark were just in looking at bikes, and he came up and he said, "You're Lockwood, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, I love your channel, and your bike just looks even better in the flesh than it does, on screen." And I was like, "Oh, thanks very much." And you really do take a lot from that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been recognised probably. Sometimes I can be walking, doing something, whatever, going shopping, whatever, and you can see people thinking, "Shit, I know him from somewhere. Where's it? I know him from." And then they click. And sometimes,
There he is. That's the one.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. But when you do get noticed, it is like it's always one of those things. So I'm sort of like, oh god, but awkward. But I absolutely love it. I love it because you know that you're getting out there, then, don't you?
Yes. Right.
Someone's watching me. Yay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, you only need that one to say, yeah.
My granddaughters still keep thinking that I'm famous. I'm happy to carry on. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't care about anyone else's opinion.
Granddad Andy's on the telly. He's famous.
Yeah.
He must be famous. He's got subs. He's got people following him.
This brings us all into what we were saying just then, Lockwood, about the ups and downs of YouTube. I was on a real downer at one point, and I took out the Suzuki Katana, and the dealers are very difficult to deal with, some of them. And I was at that point where I'm thinking, why am I doing this? And I took out the Katana. I was doing a walk round. There was a video of it. I'm not plugging that, but a bloke pulled up turned around and come back on the Bonneville. So I thought, is he going to sort of see if I'm broken down? And he said, "Oh, you're a Yaxeter rider." And that's the first time that I got noticed. And it's one of the best, my favourite video, actually, because it was such a personal thing for me that gave me a big lift that day that I needed.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that was it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing. Even though it can be a hard slog at times, but it is a good thing.
I think it's always a hard slog. Always hard. I struggle with it all the time. But it's a business, really. I mean, I've got a business anyway with the day job, and this literally for me is another business.
Yeah, and it's having that discipline to kind of, keep the two in tow, because I do find at times where I've seen me sitting maybe editing a video when maybe I should be doing something else. And you do find sometimes.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. I'm terrible, mate. Yeah, I'm terrible.
Yeah. It's
I must
it's really
admit
hard to deal with.
that I've watched a lot of you guys' videos when I should have been working, but I've never actually sat and edited a video when I should have been working. But
See,
yeah,
I don't find that as quite a bad thing.
we've all got phones and headphones and everything else, and Lockwood's put another ride out through WhatsApp, and I'll stick it on play, and I'll stick the phone in my pocket, and I'll listen to what he's saying while he's riding, or Exeter's test riding the latest 125 thumper or whatever it is, and
Yeah.
you know,
Something boring.
I'll bump, stick that on play, and I'll stick it in my pocket, or Rev Bombs riding the latest Lex Moto Milano or whatever. You know, and I'm working away, or I'm reading the reports. I'll stick it on play on the computer and reading the report and go, oh, okay, right, like that video. You know, it's
Yeah.
just, but yeah, I
I think the difference is with me is that I'm basically deep building. Let's look at it like that. But quite often I've got to take a week off to do paperwork and plans and all that crap and pricing, which I bloody hate it. It's shit, really numbing. But then you just think, well, I've got to do the editing as well, and you end up coming off of what you kind of should be doing, but and then doing that instead. But that being said, I just bluff it now. I go from job to job, you know, in the day job, and I've always got a stack of paperwork to get to. But to be honest, working life is, to me, what I have to do, whereas YouTube is doing something I love. So that takes priority without overtaking the day job and the importance of getting the money in to pay the mortgage.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm such a mess. I need
where
help.
I'm sat now,
Help me.
We're all the same.
where I'm
We're
sat
all the
now
same.
here,
Yeah.
where I'm sat now here is where I edit all my YouTube footage. This is where I do it. It's in my man cave. It's what I do. So I will get home, I will get my camera, and I shall plug it in. I shall upload all my footage for the week, and I shall sit there and I shall sift through. And I remember what days, what happened. And if I happen to have a lot of bell ends that week, I'll put a bell end collection together. Or I will just do my usual weekly meat and whatever meat and super sausage and blah, 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 and post it. And this is where I do it all from. But
Yeah.
for actually the following of people, because of the invention of this thing here, which is called the mobile phone, I will do it anywhere. I will watch and follow you guys anywhere.
Yeah.
That's freedom that's given me. So.
Yeah.
It's funny that you make these bell end videos, and you're actually making one now, aren't you? There's three of us here.
Yeah. You're all appearing on my next one, actually.
Yeah.
Look at these twats.
Especially that one. Yeah.
Good thing
This fella down here with a funny accent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got another funny accent down here. Look at him now.
Yeah, this numpty with a tractor. Where is he?
Good thing
There he
it's
is.
fine.
He's normal.
Oh, this one's got one as well, mate. You think his is a tractor? You try my '98 model. Cool.
You've had that for quite a wee while now. Is that about a year you've had that?
I've had that a year now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I remember when you first got it and you did the video, and I think this is a bit stupid, but I remember the bike being next to a tree.
That's right. Yeah.
And you were toying whether you wanted the screen on or whether you wanted the screen off. And I think you had the screen off originally.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah. So
And that was a funny video because that was quite a hit video. But when I looked into the statistics, whatever they call it, I don't know if you remember, but
analytics.
That's the one. Yeah. I went part way through the video and I said, right, I'm going to bring out my bike now, my new bike, which is a big thing.
Yes.
You know, the bike reveals always do really well. And then I walked off screen and said, that's coming up in part 2. And then I played my outro part. And I saw on my analytics that you could see everyone thinking, oh, it's not till next week now in part 2. It dropped off. Whereas if I had not said that, it would have been a hit video. Do you see what I mean? Because they all thought, it's not doing it till next week now.
Yeah.
Just click off.
I remember that. I remember that because when you said that, I was like, that can't be the end of the video. It's still got ages to go yet. Because
You
I
can't
seen the
do
bar
that.
had still had ages to go. And I stayed on. So yeah.
A lot of people dropped. Yeah. Over half the people dropped off then.
Oh, that's mad. Yeah.
Bad move.
Yeah, it was.
You
It was
quite
a
like it
rough up on that one. What's that, mate?
Yeah, so you like it? You quite like it?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I got home one day and I just thought, I really want a Boxer engine. It was literally an overnight thing. And I thought, well, I don't really want a GS because it's too big to store with the other bikes and all that. And I just thought, well, I'll just dip my foot in. I'll spend 1,700 quid, and I can always do it up and sell it. And I got that bike, and it was the best 1,700 quid I've ever paid, you know. And I just love riding it. You know, even the bikes that I get now, I get back on the Beamer and just think, I just love it. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. It's a heap of shit, really. It's like rusty and, you know, it's not in the best nick, but I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do get that.
Bless you. You love her, even though she ugly.
You what?
You love her, even though she ugly.
I do's. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good. Ooh,
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to shoot.
I think I'm going to bugger off as well.
Beat tonight, actually.
Yeah.
Are you going to wrap it, Simon?
Party tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. What's the plans then for tomorrow or today?
Plans are Indian food, martini brandy, and not hospital.
Nice.
Snap.
Nice. Yeah.
Andy, what's your plans for the weekend? Come on, fella.
Not a lot. I might meet up with Red Bomb, do the super sausage on a Sunday. I've got to pop into town tomorrow, just normal stuff, really. I might, if someone's out on a ride, I might get out for a little bit in the morning. But other than that, nothing really. Just a chilled out weekend. Probably end up getting wankered tomorrow night up the pub, but hey ho, the weekend.
I will be starting my breakfast runs, salad dodgers for Saturdays. In the spring. Yeah.
Do you say salad?
Have you not heard of this?
We do a salad dodger run, and we don't actually dodge
Every
salad.
Saturday morning. We head out on our bikes and we dodge the salad.
Well, people throwing cabbages at you or something, are they?
No, we go and find the biggest, fucking nastiest breakfast we can find that is full of grease.
So it's a greasy minger. Is that what you're basically going to find?
No, it's something I started up. How many years ago did I start this up? About 4 years ago?
4 years ago now, yeah.
I started it up Saturday morning, Salad Dodgers Run. It was basically the breakfast club. Saturday mornings, breakfast club. And we would go out and we would go and ride to a biker cafe somewhere and have a fry up. And that was what it was. So, yeah. So, yeah, Salad Dodgers. It will be starting up again in the spring. Don't worry, Andy. It's coming. It's coming.
I'll be here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's my pub.
Is that your own pub, Andy? Is
It's
it?
shed in the garden.
Pub in your
Yeah.
garden, is it?
That's what I built during lockdown because I got bored, so I built my own pub.
Oh, I'd love that. Oh, Hippodrome's has got a pub as well, hasn't he? Do you guys
Yeah, it
watch
has.
him?
Yeah.
Pub. That's our pub.
Oh. We got to have a YouTuber meet up, and we at your pub. Should we just turn up at his door one day?
I think we
Yeah.
should.
I've got the address. You want it? Let me know.
We can.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I moved. Yeah, no.
That's brilliant.
Have you a big enough garden to stick a tent in?
Yeah. Yeah, he has.
Yeah, my 100,
He's also got a fire pit to keep you warm.
Good.
Got our own fire pit with all the.
And he's got a shed to keep you fucking
You got a hot tub?
quite comfortable. Yeah.
Actually, no.
Where's this going?
I'm going to Airbnb his house shortly. It's all right.
Got rid of the hot tub was costing like 60 quid a week to run or something stupid. It was really
60 quid
expensive.
a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you look
Yeah.
at the price of electric now. I mean, that was a few years ago. It's probably about 120 pound a month to run now.
Yeah, shocking.
It's not that. I'll just
Yeah.
fart in the bar. It's cheaper.
Mm.
Well, I won't be joining you for that, but I'll come to your pub.
Anyway, that's what Andy's doing this weekend. Exeter, what are you doing this weekend, buddy?
I'm doing football with my lad, and tomorrow morning he's got a game. Don't want to do it anymore, but we're shoving him out and making sure he does do it because he's just becomes lazy and they end up computer gaming.
Yep. What age is he?
And what's that, sorry, mate?
What age is he? What age is he?
Oh, age. Sorry. Sorry, mate. It's conversion. Age. He is. How old is he? I should know this. Bollocks. I think he's 12.
You should know.
He's 12.
Yeah, it's that age. He's at
Yeah.
that age. That age and maybe that.
Exactly. It won't be long. Yeah. If it's anything like me, he'll be blind by the time he's 13.
Yeah.
But yeah, so doing that, and then I'm out in the afternoon with the film in the Vosges 6:50. So yeah, I'll be doing that.
Nice
so that's
one.
good. And then Sunday, I don't think I'm doing a lot. Probably doing a bit of DIY, keep her happy, so I can go out doing more filming.
Good.
Nice one. Lockwood, what are you up to the weekend, man? Come on.
Well, I'm out tomorrow with my brother. My brother is.
I hope you're not eating all my cake.
I've already eaten it. That's what's left. My brother's 5 years younger than me, and he looks 5 years older
Your
than
brother's
me. So
21.
great when you go out, and he always says, "That's my big brother," and they'll just look at him and go, "Your big brother, really?" So he's exactly 5 years younger than me. So we were born on the same day, 5 years apart.
Wow.
So yeah, so we've not been out for a while, so we're going out tomorrow for a few drinks. So yeah, carnage, and then on Sunday I'll just be like nursing it, really. Yeah, hopefully.
Same as me.
Yep. That's the
Well,
plan.
That's the plan. Well, anybody that is still watching the stream, Andy GSA Tractor, follow him. Exeter Rider, yeah, follow him. You don't need him, but follow
Amazing
him.
channel.
That is the man. He is. And Lockwood 92, follow that man as well. Awesome
Thanks.
bike. Yeah. That way, whichever it is. And it is now my birthday. I am officially 53.
Yeah.
Hey.
Bastard.
Well done, mate.
Yeah,
happy
I'm an old
birthday.
bastard.
And thanks
And
for
I'm no-
letting us to your party.
You're more than welcome, guys. You're more than welcome. April, I will be down heading through your country, so we will stop and have coffee with yourself and Howie at somewhere. And later in the year, we will be up in Scotland and having coffee with you, Lockwood.
Yes,
Andy?
absolutely.
I'll probably see you
Yep.
next time I turn around. So
I've got a lovely little route planned for the you guys. It will be the Friday. I think Rev's coming up on you and Rev's coming up on the Friday night. Meeting
Yeah.
up with Andy and probably myself, Marky Boy, Gersha Vlogster, and Zed. Hopefully that'll be
Right.
That's a
maybe
good
even
bunch.
more. We could probably
Yeah.
even get a few others. Maybe even John Diehard will be up as well. Who knows?
oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be a good weekend. That'll be a great weekend.
Just got to
Just
remember,
fingers crossed the weather's good.
just got to.
Scotland.
I ride like Miss Maisie, so
Yeah. You'll already you'll be Scotland
Bimble.
out by then, Andy. You've already done it for a week.
that's true. Enough of it. Simon's been on a gentle bimble with me.
Yes, that'll be good.
Gentle bimble, is that where you don't go below 90% throttle? I'm not sure. I'm just confused.
Yeah, you just it's the wrist thing, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, sort of like it's not going gentle, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I can go as gentle as the missus will let me before she starts digging me in the ribs, telling me to slow down.
At least you don't get rabbit punches. I get rabbit punches. So yeah. Anyway, that said, good night, all.
Good.
Finish up.
Thank you
All right.
very much.
Happy birthday, mate. Thanks a lot. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Andy, Lockwood,
Enjoy your
people
day.
in the comments. Cheers.
See you later, guys.
Bye now.
Yeah.
Adios.
Thank you everyone for watching. Take care, guys. Thank you very much.